सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां। नारायणं पद्मभवं वसिष्ठं शक्तिं च तत्पुत्रपराशरं च व्यासं शुकं गौडपादं महान्तं गोविन्दयोगीन्द्रमतस्य शिष्यं श्रीशङ्कराचार्यमतस्य पद्मपादं च हस्तामलकं च शिष्यं तं तोडकं वार्तिककारमन्यान् अस्मद्गुरून् सन्ततमानतोऽस्मि। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तजनकल्याणे निरतं करुणामयं नमामि चिन्मयं देवं सद्गुरुं ब्रह्मविद्वरम्। कलाभ्यां चूडालङ्कृतशशिकलाभ्यां निजतपः फलाभ्यां भक्तेषु प्रकटितफलाभ्यां भवतु मे। शिवाभ्यामस्तोकत्रिभुवनशिवाभ्यां हृदि पुनः भवाभ्यामानन्दस्फुरदनुभवाभ्यां नतिरियम्। अङ्कोलं निजबीदसन्ततिरयस्कान्तोपलं सूचिका साध्वीनैजविभुं लदाक्षितिरुहं सिन्धुसरिद्वल्लभं प्राप्नोति हयता तते पशुपतेः पादारविन्दद्वयं चेतो वृत्तिरुपेत्य तिष्ठति सदा सा भक्तिरित्युच्यते। नालं वा परमोपकारकमिदं त्वेकं पशूनां पते पश्यन् कुक्षिकदान् चराचरगणान् बाह्यस्थितान् रक्षितुं सर्वामर्त्यपलायनौषधमधि ज्वालाकरं भीकरं निक्षिप्तं गरलं गलेन गलितं नोत्कीर्णमेव त्वया। स्मृतौ शास्त्रे वैद्ये शकुनविगदागानपणितौ पुराणे मन्त्रे वा स्तुतिनटनहास्येष्वच्युतरुः कथं राज्ञां प्रीतिः भवति मयि कोऽहं पशुपते। पशुं मां सर्वज्ञ प्रतितकृपया पालय विभो। मार्गावर्तितपादुका पशुपतेरङ्गस्य कूर्चायते कण्डूषाम्बुनिषेचनं पुररिपो दिव्याभिषेकायते। किञ्चिद्भक्षितमांसशेषकवलं नव्योपहारायते। भक्ति किं न करोत्यहो वनचरो भक्तावतंसायते। जलति मदनदक्षो नैव पातालभेदी न च वनमृगयायां नैव लुब्धप्रवीणः। अशनकुसुमपूषा वस्त्रमुख्यां सपर्यां कथय कथमहं ते कल्पयानीन्दुमौले। Naratvam devatvam nagavanamrugatvam mashakata Pashutvam kidatvam bhavatu vihagatma dijananam Sada tvatpadabja smarana paramananda lahari Vihara saktam chet hridayamaya kim tena vapusha Vaturuma gehi va yetirapi jati va taditaro Naro va yakkaschit bhavatu bhavakim tena bhavati Yediyam hritpadmam yadi bhavadadinam pashupate Tati yasvam shambho bhavasi bhavabaram chabahasi Janana mritiyotanam sevaya devatanam Na bhavadi sukaleshah samshayo nasti tatra Ajanim amritarupam sambamisham bhajante Yaiha paramasokyam tehi danya labante. So many different beautiful verses. Te danyaha, they are the most blessed. Who are the most blessed here? Yaiha paramasokyam labante. Those who obtain the greatest bliss. And who are those? Ye sambamisham bhajante. One who is worshipper of Sa-amba. Sa-amba becomes Samba. Sa-ambam isham bhajante. The word Ish, once I was giving lecture on Ishavasya Upanishad. So somebody asked, what is the main theme of this Upanishad? So I said, it is there in the title itself, Ishavasya Upanishad. Oh, what does that mean? It is to ask whether God is or was. So, Ishavasya Upanishad. No, actually that is not the meaning. Don't take it that way. The first verse in that Upanishad is Ishavasyamidagam sarvam yatkincha jagatyam jagat tena tyaktena bunjitaha magrita kasya sviddhanam. That the entire world must be seen as nothing other than manifestation of the Lord. Isha Ishwarena Vasyam Achadaniyam Idam Sarvam Jagat. The whole world should be seen. Vasyam means should be seen, should be covered as though, with the vision of the Lord. Isha Vasyam Idagam Sarvam. All this, whatever is said to be this, idam means anything that is said to be this. So what do we refer it as this? What do we refer it as this? Anything other than I is this only. Isn't that true? This table, this chair, not this chair, this computer, anything that is referred to as other than I, aham, is called idam. When slowly, when we have our body, this body, oh, body is also this only. Idam shariram kaunteya kshetram ityabhidiyate. Bhagavan also refers to the body as idam only. Now, we only say aham, but Bhagavan says this is sharira is also idam only. And when your mind is giving trouble, what do you say? This mind. Again, that becomes idam. So, whenever you say this, from which reference point you say this? You are standing on aham, then only you can say idam. So when you are calling mind also as this only, then who are you then? This buddhi, buddhi is also idam. This ahankar, that is also idam. I want to get rid of this ignorance. Ignorance is also idam. So, to refer everything as idam, I should be standing on the aham. So, idam sarvam Ishwaraha, Ishwaram eva. All these are all Lord alone. So, as morning also we saw, Bhagavan's Maya is non-different from Bhagavan himself. Like, if I am able to slap you, no, I am not going to do, but if I slap you, it is expression of my power. Only when my hand lands on your face, you will realize that. So, me and my ability to speak or walk or talk, etc., are inherent there. In the same way, the world is inherently present as the Lord himself. When he manifests, it appears to be diverse. That's all it is. So this knowledge that one alone is appearing as many is Vedanta, Advaita Vedanta. But other Dvaitavadin, what you would say? No, the world is different from God. World is created by God. World is a product of God, etc. But Advaita Vedanta, what it would say? No, other than God, there is nothing else. Bhagavan also says, Mai sarvamidam protam. I pervade everything. Matta paradaram na anyat. Other than me, there is nothing. So when we say, idam sarvam, whatever you call it as idam also, manifestation of aham only. Then only it is Advaita. So therefore, here when you see everything as his presence, and such a person alone, samamisham bhajante, and this very creation has no beginning, no end actually. Ajanim Amrita Rupam Sambamisham Bhajante. When you say creation, Srishti, I think the heat is quite a bit for me. You know, I feel that. This heat is too much. The creation also has no beginning. Creation has no beginning, really speaking. Now, any object you take cannot come from nowhere. The material also, matter also cannot be destroyed. It only changes the form from one condition to another condition. You take an apple, for that matter, you don't consume it, you keep it on the counter for a long time. Nowadays, those apples are eternal living. Until you consume it is same only. Because they are all so plasticized, so to say. Even ants go there, they never are interested in that. Because they are not edible, only human beings eat that. Go there, look at this is not edible, they'll walk away. Because it is stored and then plastic coat is put there and over that, waxed coat. So even matter, if you keep it outside for a long time, it slowly would perish. But where does it go? Does it go somewhere else? It only merges back into either water goes to water element of the object or the, let's say apple, it starts to evaporate, then it starts to shrink. Dehydrate, okay. Then the matter, that is earth element, starts becoming powdery. They also go away. Finally nothing remains there. So also with the body. Our body also, the shape of the body is because of the water. Water is removed, we will have no shape at all. And then the earth part goes away. So that is why it is called, in Sanskrit the word, Prapancha means that which is a composite of all the Panchakosha, Pancha Mahabhutas. Panchatvam, when you say, it's called death. Panchatvam means it goes back to the Pancha. From the being a integrated, composite, accumulated form of 5 elements, when these 5 elements start departing from each other, that is called Panchatvam, because the 5 has gone back to the 5. What remains is nothing. So the body that is made of 5 elements, when it is buried, let us say, then slowly, slowly all of them disappear and nothing remains. It becomes part of the earth. Wherever we are all sitting on some years back, many, many thousands of years back, these are all nothing but burial grounds, right? Yeah, so many people are there, so many people have died, so many bodies have been burnt or cremated in this very same place where you and I are sitting. That's why we do all the homas and Navagraha Homa and all these things to purify the place. So when you have buried a body, let us say your grandfather, great-grandfather's body is buried, it has gone into the earth. So after many years later, there is an apple tree that comes. The apple tree that comes is nothing but metamorphosized form of your great-grandfather's body. The apple that you're eating is his finger actually. Swamiji, don't give me such terrible, gross examples. I mean, it is all changed one thing. Where else it will go? So the matter also is not subject to any destruction. It only changes its form. That way Bhagavan says, unmanifest becomes manifest, manifest becomes unmanifest. That's what it is. What is this world? Unmanifest become manifest. And then after some time, it becomes unmanifest again. Avyaktadini bhutani. He says very clearly, all these beings are all avyakta before. Avyakta means unmanifest. Vyakta madhyani bharata. Now it has become vyakta. Vyakta means manifest. That's why we say a person is vyakti. Vyakti means what? Manifestation. Avyak nadidanan eva. Then it becomes unmanifest again. Tatra ka paridevan. Why are you worried? Nothing is remaining forever. It's only manifestation and manifestation. Manifestation and manifestation. So, idam sarvam ekameva. So, sambamisham bhajante. And what is that which is transforming itself as many? That amritam, ajanim amrita rupam, sambamisham bhajante, ya iha paramasaukyam, tehi dhanya labante. Recognition of the fact that there is really no death. Death is only another condition of change. From one form to another form, it is changed. While the soul, which is none other than the pure consciousness, continues to be there. Natve vaham jatunasam natvam neme janadipaha nachaiva nabhavishyamaha sarve vayam atah param. Arjun, nobody dies. Everybody dies. Oh? What? Gurudev used to make a joke of it. Nobody dies. Everybody dies. You're contradicting yourself. Nobody dies. Every body dies. Physical body, appearance of that body dies. If you want to ask, you go and ask an Australian, a person from Australia. So somebody came from Australia. So Gurudev, hey, when did you come? Gurudev asked. He said, I came to die. You came all the way from Australia to die here? No, to die means today. We have to say, we all came to die. The body is going to die anyway. So one who knows this nature of this reality, which is ajanim amrita rupam, and what is it? Sambamisham bhajante ye danyaha so paramasaukyam labante. When the mind recognizes the amritatvam of everything, one's own being, which is always at the nature of changeless nature of one, but also this physical body in the entire world also, even though subject to constant change, but it is none other than the Lord Himself. So the person went to reduce the heat, didn't do anything. Still I am feeling heat. So this actual change has not happened. This is only act of changing. So you all psychologically feel it is reduced. Nothing changed. Same. So next question is bhakti upasana or more than that? So upasana, as we all know, whereas a person is sitting near the form of the Lord, keeping the mind focused upon the nature of the Lord, and the external puja, etc., are helpful means to do that. Because our mind is so distracted all the time, we need to always do something to keep our mind there. Without the external aid, the mind cannot remain steady in that thought of the Lord. So there is a need for a ritual. So in the Vedas, there are three main sections: mantra, upasana, and philosophy. Mantra upasana portion together is forming the Purva Mimamsa, and the philosophy section is Uttara Mimamsa. But majority of the portion is mantra and upasana only. Why? Because most of the people can think about God only through that. So what kind of upasana can be considered as bhakti, or bhakti cannot be without the upasana? Now you see, Garbhare kasare, sorry, Gabire kasare, Vishadi vijane gora vipine, Vishale shaile cha, Brahmadi kusumartam jadamatihi, Samarpekam chetaha, Sarasi jamupanata bhavate, Sukena vastatum, Jana iha na janadi kimaho, Gabire kasare vishadi vijane gora vipine, Vishale shaile cha pramadi kusumartam jadamatihi, Samarpyekam chetah sarasi jamumanata bhajate, Mukena vastatum janaiha na janadi kimaho. Janaha iha sukena avastatum na janati. People cannot remain focused and steady, abiding in the Lord. Oh, alas! Anything that we do, physically we do also, if the mind is not involved in that, that action is only a ritual. Without the presence of the mind, when you do an action, it's only a physical act, and it does not really give psychological result. Physical result will be there. So main nature of devotion is where we saw that cheto vritti rupetya tishtati sada sa bhakti. Pashupatehe padara vindadvayam Cheto vrityupetya tishtati. Where the mind is staying there, that is what is called bhakti. So instead of keeping the mind at the feet of the Lord, everything else they do, except mind. That's why don't we say pay attention. You are not paying attention. You are physically there, mentally not there. So here he says, Janaha iha na janati. People do not know here. What? Sukhena avastatum. Sukhena, quietly, peacefully, joyfully. Avastatum, to stay in the thought of the Lord. They don't know. So because they don't know, they need to have some physical action to support it. But people take the physical activity as more important than anything else. Mind is not available. It is said that in Upadeshasara, the story, before the start of the Upadeshasara, there is a story. Once it is said that Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni asked Ramana Maharshi, narrating a particular portion of a story about Shiva. And from there only this whole teaching of Upadeshasara started, composed by Sri Ramana Maharshi. Why the teaching started? What is the first statement? Karturajnaya prapyade palam. Karma kim param, karma tajjadam. Karma is jadam. Karma is inert. Inert action cannot produce any result. Action by itself cannot produce result. It can produce result based upon the law of action. If I throw a stone up on the sky, what will happen to that stone? If you are throwing and standing there only, you will know. Tongue. So, is it Bhagavan? If somebody is punishing you? No, your act of throwing the stone abides a law. What law? The law of gravitation. Who created that? Anybody claims? Anybody? Who created the law of gravitation that makes the stone come down? Karturajnaya prapyade padam. All the natural laws that are there, no one can claim to have created it. And without those laws, you cannot even sustain a moment here. The air is flowing. Who created that law that air has to flow? Fire has to burn. Earth has to rotate. Who created? Tell me. A small seed that you put inside the earth and pour water, whatever it is, it breaks the shell and comes out. What a power it needs. Think. To break the shell of that seed, to sprout as a single tree or plant, single sprout, it needs so much power to break it. That energy comes from where? We take it for granted, right? The life in the small seed has got the power to break out and come. Where does that come from? So if you look at carefully, so many things we take it for granted are all the laws that are working. And if there is a law, there must be one who thought about the law also. Sometime back, when I was in Calcutta, I was there as a brahmachari, first posting there. And I usually go to a marketplace. Not every day, but when we had the servant in the ashram that he will finish any sabji you buy, the same day he will finish everything. So every day I have to go with him. So one day I just was going out, outside the building. We opened the gate, and when I went out, I saw a 10 rupee note lying down on the street. Just outside the gate. 10 rupee. I took it in the hand, looked around. Anybody's looking for it? Nobody. Acha, theek hai. I put it in my pocket, walked. And then after finishing going to the market, etc., I came and put it in the hundi, because we don't know who it belongs. Let it go to Bhagavan. And next day, again when I walked out of the gate, there was a 10 rupee note there only. Now one day if it has fallen, I understand. Second day also it is there. Now I have a doubt. Somebody is doing this, right? So I looked here and there, nobody was there. And the busy street. So I waited for some time. I was watching, anybody's watching? No. Sometimes hidden nowadays a hidden camera watching, what are you doing? What are you doing? So nobody was watching. I am talking about some 30, 40 years back. Okay. Took it. Mine. 30 years back, actually, 94. Third day. Even before reaching the gate, I have it's again there. And when I went to the gate and opened the gate, what did I find? To be continued, ... Nowadays all the serials are like that. Then what happened? Next week. Now, this whole thing that I'm saying actually happened or not, I won't tell you. But this is to arrive at a point. If a thing is happening every day in the same way, it has to have a reason and an intelligence. Right? A purpose. So if somebody is putting $10 there every day, 10 rupees, then there must be a reason why that person is putting there. And the person who is putting there must be intelligent. He is watching what's going on, whether he takes it or not. In the same way, look at the sunrise and sunset, or the moon and the planets and the whole system. It's so systematically working there. Do you think there is no real reason or there is no intelligence that is behind that is making it happen? Do you think so? All laws that are there, and they are not unintelligent laws. And especially only here it is. Because of which we are able to sit. There will be floating all around the place. You can predict things to a larger extent because the law is working. Even human-made laws are to make the society live peacefully, is it not? The constitution or the laws that are there, traffic laws and all these things are all for what? Red light, you stop. Orange, usually when you are driving, then when it turns, what do you call that? Amber. And then red. But in India, amber means go fast. Go speed, go fast. Here also, no? Amber, fast. It is supposed to prepare you to stop. That is when we go faster. So the law is red, you stop. So if that is not obeyed, or if it is not there, then there will be chaos there. So if the laws are not there, there will be only chaos. So kartuhu ajnaya phalam prapyate. So when the rishis munis were doing the rituals, it is said, and they totally forgot it was because of God alone the results are coming. They misunderstood action alone produces results. There is no need for God. Sankhyan system is like that. Anishwaravadins. So they that the karma itself can produce result. There is no need for Ishwara. So when they were doing the rituals, they totally forgot about God. They were just doing swaha, swaha, swaha and all that. So Bhagavan stood in front of them as a young mendicant. They never even bothered to look at him. He said, okay, I will make sure that they know what I am. So he went to there were a lot of their dwelling places, kutir, and the women, they were all chanting or chatting and then making food, etc. He went then charmed all of them, and they started going behind him. So this, what happened to our wives are all going behind that fellow? They left everything and ran behind him. And he played here and there. They tried to attack him with the elephant. He took the skin and put it on his body. Put him, tiger attacks, and he also. So then they realized we are not dealing with a common man. He's somebody divine. So they surrendered. Who are you? He said, I am the one who is giving result to your actions. Now you understand. Karturajnaya, Ishwarasya ajnaya, prapyade palam, karma kim param, karma tajjadam. So, if your mind is not on the one who is supporting all your thoughts and actions and your life itself, but merely if you do the action, that is merely a ritual, and upasana means action plus the correct attitude of love towards God. If that is missing, it's only a karma. Karma means a fear physical action. So people who have taken the action more important than the attitude, what do? Gabire kasare. In that very large, deep forest, Vishadi vijane gora vipine. Vishadi, they enter and they look for what? They look for entering the vijane. Vijane means where there is no human beings at all. Gabire kasare, they go into, kasara means the lake. In the lake they go and pick up the lotus flower. Why? Bhagavan ke liye. Now when you are picking up the flower also, if you should remember, it is because of Bhagavan only it was created. Who created that flower there? So not only while you are offering to the Lord, but even as you are picking up the flower, or even looking at the flower, mind should be on the Lord. What do? Outside our temples in India, we don't take the flower, go out in our own backyard, pick up the flower, sit down and make the mala. We don't do. Ek mala de do. That also we take. We don't do anything. And then we go and offer to the Lord, garland mein de raha hu. Kaun banaya? Pata nahi. Who made it? I don't know. You didn't do it. So even as you are looking at the flower, remember the Lord. And as you are picking it up and start to gather them and make them as a garland, remember the Lord. And that's why Bhagavan said, even one flower you give, that is sufficient. You don't need to make a garland also. So, Gabire, Kasare, Vishati, entering there, Vijane, and also Vijane, Gora, Vipine, entering into even the deepmost forests also, to pick up the wild leaves, bilva leaves, let us say, or the flowers. The lotus flower usually is on the deep lake only. And Vishale Shailecha, Vishala, the huge mountain also go there. Brahmati Kusumartam Jadamadi. Deluded fools looking for flowers, either in the large huge mountains or the forests, or go into the deep lake and pick up a flower, etc. And Samarpya, having offered one lotus flower, Ekam Chetam Sarasijam, even if they have taken that one lotus flower in their hand and thought about the Lord to whom? Umanaya bhavate. Hey Umanatha, O Lord of Uma, if they have taken even a single flower with your thought, Sukhena avastatum, even to give that one flower with the thought of the Lord, if only they do, they will definitely become so abiding in their mind. But Sukhena avastatum na hiha janati. Oh, Jana. Bhagavan doesn't demand anything from you. Nothing. But in the name of God, what are the things we do? I think in Tirunelveli somewhere. Tirunelveli halwa is important to that goddess there. You know that? Halwa is not even Indian. But the Devi there, she needs only halwa. Who told you? Devi asked, give me the Tirunelveli halwa. Is it so? That Sudarshana, what is that called they do? Satyanarayana Puja. Itna ghee laga ke. 1/3 rava, 1/3 ghee, 1/3 sugar. What did you do? Satyanarayana Puja. Pet puja kiya aapne. An interesting thing is there is one particular place in India where Bhagavan Shiva is known as, I think it is Bhagavan Shiva, I think, is incomparable Lord. In Tamil it's called incomparable. Oppu illai appan. Oppu illai means there is no, oppu means equal. Illai means no. Oppu illai means upama rahita. Bhagavan is upama rahita. Oppu illai. What they give it to him is poor thing. Uppu illai appan. No salt at all. They totally confuse the whole thing. Poor Bhagavan is eating everything without salt. That is called assaulted food. Sometimes, they read my Diksha schedule also. It's written moderate salt, moderate spice. And they don't read it. No salt at all. No spice at all. So I called assaulted, despised food. Swamiji, you suffer. Because zindagi ek suffer. Karo. Zindagi ek suffer. I tell them, you become Shabari and give it to me. One lady came to me and said, Swamiji, this is the first time I am doing Bhiksha for you. I am so nervous. You are not. I am. Why are you thinking you are nervous? You are not eating. I am the one who is eating. So that the Lord is Uppu illai appan. What do you give the Uppu illai appan? What is it Bhagavan has done? Making him suffer? So what we give is for our satisfaction. I like it, therefore you take it. If only you take one flower and offer it from the mind in your Lord, oh, for that Lord, who created this? That's why we say, Tera tujhko arpan, right? It is yours, I am giving it back to you. If I come to your home and before I knock at your door, I go backyard, pick up a flower from there, come to the front. Swamiji, you brought flower for me? Yes. Where is it from? Your backyard. Why did you give it from my backyard to you? Friends, if you are bringing from your backyard, I understand. You brought all the way from there. So here, Sukhena avastatum janaha iha na janati. Oh. So true bhakti is maybe an action. See, action by itself is not devotion, but action can support devotion. And in the absence of the mind attuned to the Lord, action by itself is not considered as bhakti. Bhakti can be without the action also. By mind alone you can remember the Lord and remain in tune with Him. But action, if it is necessary to support it so that it is easy, do it. But only that action but no thought, it cannot be considered as devotion. So that is what he is trying to prove it here. Now, interesting thing is, another one which I want to tell you. Once, here is the next one, it's correct. Offering Purna Kumbha. What is it? What is the next one? 36. Oh, I have not put the titles there? No. Oh, I thought I put the titles. Now, when a sadhu walks into somebody's house, they offer Purna Kumbha. When I was teaching in Sandipani, many Chinmaya Mission Swamis come regularly to visit the ashram, sometimes to teach, etc. So I used to tell my students that two of them, every time when a Swami comes, by turn, they should prepare the Purna Kumbha. When the Swamiji arrives, so you offer the Purna Kumbha, welcome him. So that's a tradition. So they were doing. So one set of students who came from a part of the world, I won't tell you where they are from, they have absolutely no knowledge of Sanskrit. They cannot learn. Zero. Indians only. So I told them, so everybody has to do the turn. So their turn came when Swamiji was coming. So they came to me and said, Swamiji, tomorrow so-and-so Swamiji is coming. So should we prepare the Kumbhakarna? I said, what? Kumbhakarna? They are from Sri Lanka. Now let me tell you that also. You don't need to do it. Be that only. Kumbhakarna. Instead of Purna Kumbham, Kumbhakarna. So this Purna Kumbham, why do we do? Three important things in a Purna Kumbham. Today somebody might have noticed that. Right? The kumbha or the pot, then the coconut and the water. That is important there. Because in the olden times, the sadhus walk from place to place, and when they arrive, they chant the mantras, and which is retained by the water. That mantra's power is retained by the water, and that water becomes holy, and for doing the cleaning of the surrounding and washing the feet and many things that is used. As much as you do before a very important auspicious event, when you are offering to the Lord, they do Kalasha Puja. And the puja is done to the Kalasham, not for the Kalasham, but the water inside the Kalasham. And the water has the ability to maintain or retain the mantra. The power of the mantra is retained by the water. There are a lot of researches have been done and to prove that how the water retains the energy of the chanting. And that is then offered to whichever deity it is that. Interesting thing is our body is 70 to 80% water. So when you chant mantra, what happens? It is retained in that water aspect of your body. So that is why chanting the mantras are important for us to make our own physical body a holy abode of the Lord. So here in this particular verse, what is that Purna Kumbha? Symbolically is for our own understanding, what is that Purna Kumbha, which is compared to our own body. Now that is what is said here. Bhakto Bhakti Gunavrate Mudamrita Purne Prasanne Manaha Kumbhe Sambatavangri Pallavayugam samstapya sambitpalam sattvam mantramudiryan nija sharira agara shuddhim vahan punyaham prakatikaromi ruchiram kalyanamapadayan bhakto bhakti gunavrate mrudamuta purne prasanne manah kumbe sambatavangri pallavayugam samstapya sambitpalam sattvam mantramudirayan nija shariragara shuddhim vahan punyaham prakatikaromi ruchiram kalyanamapadayan. Punya aham prakatikaromi. Punya ahanam is punya avahanam. Inviting auspiciousness to that occasion is done by offering of this Purna Kumbha. So this offering of this Purna Kumbha is a start of an auspicious occasion. That's when you invite a person who is holy or spiritually walking spiritual path. To invite such a person, there is this tradition. So now I am inviting the Lord, punyaham prakati karomi, ruchiram punya, kalyanam apadayan, bringing kalyanam. Kalyanam means bringing great spiritual prosperity, auspiciousness to the place of occasion. So here it is, He Samba, Bhaktaha aham, aham, I, the devotee, Sattvam mantram udirayan. Sattvam mantram udirayan. By chanting the holy name of the Lord. Mantram here to be understood as Panchaksharam. So Panchaksharam, Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya. It is, Om is obviously added to any of these mantras to make it more auspicious. Namah Shivaya. It's called Panchakshara mantra. Like Namo Narayanaya. And with Om it's called Ashtakshara or Saptakshara. Without that. Namo Narayanaya. So there are all these mantras, because Gurudev has explained, mantra means that which makes your mind go away, transcend itself away from its identification with the body and go towards the Lord. Mananat trayate iti mantra. That which transcends your identification of the lower nature. Or it even transcends even the mind itself. It's called mantra. Mantra. Somebody gave that name, mantra, management training. So mantra means that transcends your mind, or making the mind transcend everything. So here mantram udirayan, uttering that. And this body is considered as nija sharira agara. Agara means griha. So this body, which is one's own body, is the abode of the Lord, Shuddhim Vahan, making this physical body fit to be an abode for the Lord's presence, for which I am uttering as I said, the body is 60 to 80% is water, and then mantra will make it holy. So uttering the name Panchakshara, I am bringing about the physical purity. So, nija sharira agara shuddhim vahan. So the body has to be made purified, because deha devalayaha. The body is the devasya alayam, the Lord's abode. Gurudev, in the introduction to Vivek Chudamani, he says, the spiritual journey begins only when you understand the sanctity of your soul. If the sanctity of the soul is not understood, because Upanishads very well clearly declare that we are, as souls, are Amrutasya Putraha. We are all what? We are all the offspring of immortality. We are not sinners. Don't start. Hey, sinners! Gurudev used to say, you already have condemned. Upanishad doesn't do that. It says, you are all already immortal beings. Only thing is, you've forgotten. When you have forgotten who I am acting in that ignorance, and until that ignorance is removed, I will not recognize my own nature. It is not I will be made to become immortal. Nobody can make a mortal an immortal. Impossible. A thing which is subject to death and birth, subject to destruction, cannot be made otherwise. I am by nature immortal only. I am mistaking myself to be otherwise. When the mistake has to be removed, I must be given the correct understanding of who I am. When that takes place, aham amrutam. I am immortal. The pot has to realize itself as the mud. That's all it is. Right? Pot has to realize itself as mud. If pot thinks itself as a pot, it will remain only as a pot. And between the pot and the mud, what is the distance? Tell me. What is the distance between the mud and the pot? 20 inches? 200 meters? There is no distance at all. It itself is mud only at all times. So, recognizing myself as immortal is moksha. But that how much time it takes, or what is the distance between me and that moksha? Somebody asked this question. Yesterday only somebody forwarded this point. Gurudev was asked this question. Vedanta declares ourselves as God, but presently I don't feel that way. What is the distance between me and God? Now, when Gurudev was asked this question, he said, list down yourself, what are the desires that you have? Make a list. Unfulfilled desires, make a list. That long is your distance between you and God. That's all. So immortality is not something I will gain. I will only realize that. What is the distance between you, the waker, and the sleep? Or between the sleeper and the waker? What is the distance? Is it a question of distance or recognition? When a person wakes up from his sleep, he knew that that was a state of ignorance. Relatively, that is a state of ignorance, this is a state of awakening. The distance is not decided by any physical distance. It's the awareness of one and the unawareness of the other. Or unawareness of the fact that I am a waker, I am staying in the state of slumber, like a lumber. That state is non-different from the state of waking, provided I recognize myself as, at all times, the wakeful one. At some point of time when I forget this, I become a unconsciously staying in the state of ignorance. So, immortal aham, that is, agara deva griham shuddhim vahan, And then in that very kumbha, what is there? Leaves, right? Bhakti guna vrute muda amruda purne manaha. The mind is the pot. In the pot, it is covered by the leaves called Bhakti Guna Avrita. It is leaves that are put there. Kumbhe Tava Angri Pallava Yugam. Your feet is considered as Angri Pallava. The very beautiful leaves that are put are, at least 2 leaves should be there. Those 2 leaves are none other than your own beautiful lotus feet. And in that mind, Bhakti Guna Avrite Muda Amrita Apurna Manaha. The mind which is filled with the understanding of the nature of immortality and the fruit that is put, that is coconut, is none other than Sambit Phalam. Sambit Phalam. Sambit means consciousness, is the Phalam. Some people say, Swamiji, instead of coconut, can I put orange there? So some people do put that coconut, which is actually was there for 25 years in the same place. If you take it, da-da-da-da-da-da, sound comes there. It should be fresh and the water should be there inside, in the coconut. Interesting thing is, in that coconut, that water is the most pure because it has not come from any other polluted water. It is completely filtered by nature. And the sweetness of that water is the most natural sweet there. Just like that coconut, which has a hard shell, and when you open, there is a white, what do you call that? Kernel. And then in that is the water which is most sweet. So too, in our own mind or our own being, the Sattva Guna is that which protects that Ananda Atma. The Ananda Atma is that beautiful coconut water covered by the Sattva Guna, and the external shell is our mind, which is as though acting as a protector of that. So this Sambit Phalam is Narikelam Phalam cha. Samstapya, having placed, Ruchim, with great joy, Kalyanamapadayan, inviting the auspiciousness, Punyaham Prakati Karomi. I thus declare the auspicious occasion. Bhaktaha Bhakti Gunavrite Mudam, this very part which is nothing but filled with the devotion, Amrita Purne, in that Amrita Kalasha, Prasanne Manaha, with a pleasant mind, Kumbhe, in that Kumbha, He Samba Tava Angri Pallava Yugam, your 2 feet are decorating that very kumbha with the leaves. Samstapya Sambit Phalam, having placed the consciousness as the fruit there, or the Narikelam. Sattvam Mantramudirayan, chanting the name of Panchakshara. Nija Sharira Agara Shuddhimbahan, making this physical body as the abode of the Lord. Punyaham Prakati Karomi, may I declare this auspiciousness. Ruchiram Kalyanamapadayan, intimating the nature of auspiciousness in that occasion everywhere. This is such a symbolic way of understanding the Purna Kumbha, not Kumbhakarna, Purna Kumbha. So, when you don't have this attitude of love for the Lord, which is presented in the form of Purna Kumbham, you remain as Kumbhakarna. So, Kumbhakarna means what? Ears have turned away. Kumbha means again the pot. Karna has become kumbha, meaning it has closed. Meaning one who does not do any shravanam is called kumbhakarna. About the nature of the truth or reality, when a person denies it, when one who is devoid of this knowledge or not listening to this knowledge, what will be our nature? We will be no better than any animal living in tamas. What does a dog do in your life? And if you have a dog, what does it do? Kavo pivo mojado, kavo pivo mojado. Pina kana sona, pina kana sona. They are called Picassos. What else you do? Eat, drink, sleep. Eat, drink, sleep. What else? So most people who do not have this correct knowledge and not having any destiny, any particular target or a destination of one's own liberation, even those who do not follow the path and walk towards that, their life is stagnant. It's like a stagnant water is the birthplace of all worms. Correct? Gurudev said, life is like a river, it has to keep moving. Moving water is life, stagnant water is death. A stagnant water is the birthplace of all evil. Mind which is not running towards the Lord can only accumulate the dirt of evil. So those who don't even listen, they are called Kumbhakarnas. Opposite of that is Purna Kumbha. That's all the difference. Papotpada vimochanaya ruchiraihi. Aishwaryaya mrityunjaya. It should be Ruchira. Stotra dhyana nati pradakshina saparya. Lokana. No, so it should be single state. Papotpada vimochanaya ruchiraishwaryaya mrityunjaya. Take a deep breath. Stotra dhyana nadi pradakshina saparya lokana karnane. Jihva chitta shirongri hasta nayana. Shrotrairaham partito. Mama jnapayatan nirupayamuhu. Mameva chaha. Papotpada vimochanaya ruchiraishwaryaya mrityunjaya. Stotra dhyana nadi pradakshina saparya lokana karnane. Jihva chitta shirongri hasta nayana strotrairaham prartitah. Mama jnapayatan nirupayamuhur mameva chaha. When Shankaracharya was composing all these things, his stenographers were his disciples. They had to run behind him while writing. Because he, out of his inspiration, suddenly will come out. Start composing on the go. So all his disciples were all the time ready. Started. And they have tried that, such a big compound. Compound means words coming together with, such an amount of well knit. It's like a weaving of words. Look at that when I explain, when you understand. Stotra dhyana nati pradakshina saparya lokan akarnane. Single. Hey Mrityunjaya. He is addressing the Lord. In the first line, last word. Hey Mrityunjaya. Mrityunjayati idi Mrityunjaya. One who has conquered death. Who can conquer death? Only one who knows there is no death. Death is not true. One who knows, he alone has conquered death. Death is not a real. That one should realize. Swamiji, how can death be not real? We see people dying. You see the body dying, right? That is not the end of the soul. I have told you this before. Bend is not an end. When you're traveling in a road and there is a bend, you don't see the other side because it's a bend. Because you don't see the other side, you cannot say the road has ended. When you go to that point of the end, oh, there is more road going there. So that is the reason why Nachiketa asked this question, is there anything beyond death? Is it not true? Not that boy knows about it. First, Yamadharma, he said, this boy had learned it from somewhere, asked this question. I'm not going to answer this. No, I want to know. And he also knows what that is. Asti te cheva eke nayam astiti cheke etad vidyam anushishtastvayaham varanameshaha varastritiyaha. I want to learn whether it is there, because devairatrapi vichikitsidam kila. This is doubted by even the devatas. Eyam prete vichikitsya manushye. Ye ayam prete. At the time when a person leaves this body, prete. Preta means praite. When the body is left behind. Vichikitsa, there is a doubt. Manushye, astit eke. Some people say it is, beyond that there is. Nayam astit cha eke. Some people say it is not. I want to know. And who can teach me other than Yama? And when Yamadharma tried to dissuade him and said that I will give you that, I will give you that, and wait. I want to know. This world is relative. See, boy is only 8-year-old. This world is relative. Anything relative cannot be there beyond death. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat. Dharma and adharma also relative only. I want to know what is other than dharma and other than adharma. Because when you say, what is dharma? What do you say? Other than dharma is adharma. What is adharma? Other than dharma. What is good? That which is not bad. What is bad? That which is not good. Is that an answer? And he is very, very clear about that. Don't give me that kind of an answer. Other than dharma is not adharma. Other than adharma is not dharma. And beyond these two, anyatra dharmat, anyatra adharmat, anyatra asmat, krita akritat. What is effect? That which came from the cause. Oh, what is cause? That brings about effect. Don't give me that answer. Krita akritat anyat. That which is other than cause and effect. Meaning what? It is neither a cause nor an effect. Neither dharma, not adharma. Anyatra asmat, other than cause and effect, and other than today, yesterday, and tomorrow. Anyatra bhutacha bhavyacha. Anyatra bhutat, what is other than the past? Bhavyat, other than the future. Yat tat pashyasi, which you see, tat vada. You tell me that. It's a definition of vada also, that's all. Tat vada. When you English it write V-A-D-A, that's called vada. No, tat vada. You tell me that. So, what is that absolute? Can the absolute be explained without relative terms? Can you explain absolute without the relative terms? So, Dharma, what's called? Yamadharma was a little taken aback. How will I explain to him this? The boy is so young, and but when the question was reinstated by him in a different way, this fellow is not common. I am so. Then he started praising him. You are the great. You are the most alert student. You are. Enough is enough. Tell me what it is. I have no time, much time. So, Mrityum Jayaha means one who has gone beyond the relativity. Bhagavan is Mrityunjayaha. Hey Mrityunjaya, he addresses him like that. Utpada Papa Vimochanaya. I have to salute you for the sake of those sinful acts that which are done by me, whose effects are coming right now. Utpada Papa, that's what? Papotpata Vimochanaya. For the sake of getting rid of the sins of the past actions. Ruchira Aishwaryaya. For the sake of greater prosperity. You know, my name is Ishwar, Ishwarananda. In South India, if you don't put Aishwar, that's how they will become Ishwarya. And what called? Sorry, we have to put Easwar. Then only they say Ishwara. If you put I, starting with I, they many times they have introduced me. So we have today Ishwarananda. This is better. Sometime now, one place where I was introduced. So we have now the person was just reading from a paper. Now he was printed. He has not read it before. Many times they do that. They never read it before coming, and so at that time only they pick up the paper. What is the paper introduction? So we have today the suspicious presence of Swamiji. I felt like going under the table and wait for him. Auspicious instead of that suspicious presence of Swami. Anyway, Aishwarya, Ishwaratvam, Ruchirei Aisharyaya, for the sake of gaining that most wanted, desirable prosperity. What do I do? Jihvena stotram. See, the second line and third line should be connected or to be compared. Stotra is, next line, Jihva. Stotram, how do you chant the glory of the Lord? Stotra, Stuti Artham Stotram. So, Jihva by the tongue. Then, Chittena Dhyanam. Dhyanam, second line. The third line says, Chitta. By the mind, I meditate. By the tongue, I sing your glory. Shirasa Natihi. Nati means to namanam, to salute. How? Shiraha, see the third line. Shiraha. Then, Angribhyam Pradakshinam. With my 2 feet, I do circumambulation. And Astena Saparya, worship of you by both the hands. Saparya, that worship. Third line which says, Hasta, then Alokana. Alokana, seeing you. By what? Nayana, by my eyes. Shrotrabhyam akarnanam, listening to your greatness by what? Akarnane stotrayam, akarnane shrotraihi aham prartitah. You, the one who is prayed for the sake of removal of the effect of the sins of my own past actions, and also get the most desirable prosperity, I, with my tongue, I sing your glory. With my mind, I meditate upon you. With my head, I salute. With both the feet, I do the pradakshina. With my eyes, you look at your own beauty. With my ears, I listen to your greatness. What you should do? Mam ajñāpaya. May you please command me. Meaning, mam nirupaya, tan nirupaya. Make me in that way prove to me, make me engage in all this action. Don't make me mute. Me ma avachaha bhavami. Meaning what? Let me not take up the next life as a mute animal, please. May I have the privilege of continuing be as a human, and not only as a human, as a devout human, as a loving person, as a one who is devoted to your feet, O Lord, so that I can continue to engage in these devotional activities. Mamajñāpaya tannirupaya muhuhu. Again means once again, give me a chance. Mam eva ma me avachaha. Ma means don't also. Sometimes mam means me, for me. And when you just say ma, it means na. As in the Gita also, last line, last verse is what he said? Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam raja aham tva sarva papyepya mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Don't worry. Ma should be understood as do not. Ma shuchaha. So here, ma me avachaha. May you not make me mute. May I become only human so that I can do all this. Papotpata vimochanaya ruchiraishwaryaya mrityunjaya stotra dhyana nadi pradakshina saparya lokana karnane jihva chitta shirongri hastanayana shrotrairaham prartita mamajñāpaya tannirupaya muhuhu mameva mamevachaha. May avachaha ma. May I not become mute. So this way the prayer is being done by a devotee to continue to be at the feet of yours and may not become useless existence in this world. Om sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve santu niramayaha, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschid dukkha bhavet. Om shanti shanti shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.